I mean, wow, wow. And tremendous wills, attitudes, determination, a way of overcoming. I mean, Jack Dempsey was a hobo. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Jack Dempsey, back in those days, he was basically like living in the streets. He was like a homeless guy. He was, yeah. Jack, see, you're putting your glasses on to check out your man here to make sure that he's right. But
was he living in Manassas, Colorado?
He's a Manassas
Mauler.
But he was a guy that he was living in hobo parks. He was a guy that I'm not saying he had to early in his career, but circumstance, whatever. But he was a guy that he'd carry his clothes on a pole. And he would ride the rails, which you could die. See, there was the railroad trains would take you from town to town back in those days. We didn't have all the things back then that you have today for travel. Obviously, with planes going all over the place, and the availability of such things. So you take a train. So Dempsey came from a tough place. Look at this. Grew up poor family in Colorado, West Virginia.
He frequently traveled underneath trains and slept in hobo camps.
There it is. You didn't think I would steer you wrong, did you, for a second? I know you put your glasses on when I said that. It got your attention.
Don't keep pointing out the glasses. They're already giving me shit about being 60 years old.
You're not 60. You're like in your 30s or something. And glasses is just a distinguished look for you. You don't even need the darn thing.
They're non-prescription. They're just for looks.
And they're just for looks. I hope not. I hope you're not one of them. Because then we have a problem. All right? Then you can't be one. I know that. That's why you can be my partner. But you immediately said, I know you trust me. You do. But you immediately said, I'm hearing something that I didn't think I'd hear today.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check this. And our man Rob, just to make sure that we're right on this, backs us up immediately that you can see this, all the things I'm talking about. This is the history.
He would occasionally visit saloons, bars, and challenge people to fight for money.
I can't sing and I can't dance, but I can lick any SOB in the house. Sounds like the great John L. Sullivan, the last bare-fisted knuckle champion. If you go back a little bit, that's where we learned that from. Because before him was John L. Sullivan, the legendary, like a Babe Ruth type figure. He's a guy. He's a guy that is one of those people in history. Like an Ali, like those guys. But from his time, John L. Sullivan, bare-fisted boxing was a thing in this country, and he was the champ. He was the last of the bare-fisted knuckle champs, and he used to say that. He used to go into a saloon and say, I can lick any, he didn't say I can't sing or dance. Maybe Dempsey added that in there, but he would say I can lick any SOB in the house, and he'd get a chance to do it too back in those days. So Dempsey took that probably from the great John L. Sullivan, but to the point, he was a poor guy, like a lot of our great fighters. This was his way of getting out of where he was, lifting himself to a better place, being a fighter. And so he was a guy before it was fashionable, and I wish it was never fashionable, to be honest, to say this, but to say that there were homeless people out there. I wish that there weren't that. But he was one of them. He was, as we just said, as we just documented, he was living in hobo camps. He would travel on the rails, which was a very dangerous practice. What that meant was that he would hide. He didn't have the money, so he would get underneath the rail of the train. Just think of this, Ken. A train that's going hundreds of miles, by the way, across the country. He would get underneath the rails, hold onto the rail. Now, if you let go a little bit, you're dead, because the track hits you while you're going whatever miles an hour that you're going. And if you fall asleep, just think about that. The guy hadn't slept all night, and he's holding on. You better not fall asleep. And he'd hold on to that rail to get to the next town. And then when he got to the next town, he'd look for a place that had a club fight going on for maybe $50, and he would fight, get his money, and then be able to get a room for the night and food, and then go on to the next. So you talk about a tough guy and a hard guy.